Hello friends! It has once again been quite a while since I last talked to you, and here I am coming back to you in the hopes that from this point on maybe we will be able to get back to a more regular scheduled program. But to start off, and I already feel like I've forgotten how this works with how long it's been. I think my last video was at the end of February, beginning of March-ish, 5 months ago. I'm not sure. But yeah, for those of you that have never seen me before, I am Sen. For my returning viewers, thank you for still being here and being patient with me. I am an artist and designer, and this is my little place on YouTube for everything cross-stitch. I will get into why I've been absent for so long in later parts of the video, because I believe most of you are here for the cross-stitch, so we will start with the cross-stitch. I have been thinking about doing like a mid-year whip parade. I did one in January at the start of the year. I have been cross-stitching in these past months, not as much as I would have liked to, but there's definitely been updates on some projects and a lot of new starts, because that is a theme with me, that my friends that have been here for a while know I like to start things. I like to hoard whips and patterns, and finishing is not among the most regular updates that I'm showing. It's more new starts than finishes that you're gonna see if you choose to stick around. So I did choose against it because there's not really that much update, so there will be a new whip parade at the end of the year. Hopefully this time I will be able to do it a bit more timely, either at the end of December, between the holidays, or at the beginning of January. So while there has been a lot more that I could talk about that I stitched on in these past months since my last video, but I decided to just get back into it with shorter videos. So I'm just gonna be doing like my usual, if I can still call it that, what I used to do like a small recap of what I did in the past week or two. I want to get back to maybe, if I can manage, weekly updates. I miss filming. I want to go back to my Sunday filming. Those might then be smaller videos, like shorter videos, but more frequent ones. That's what I want to get back to. So since I have been gone for half of the week, I only returned from holiday on Monday, Tuesday. This will be what I did the entirety of this week. Today is Sunday, the 20th of July. So for this entire week and the 2 or 3 days of last week before I left on holiday. So a little bit over a week, or a week in total if you go by days. Anyway, I'm starting rambling again. That's that's also something I do. I don't script my videos. I don't take notes really. I am not a stat person. I would like to. I tried. I will probably try again at the start of next year, but I started at the beginning of the year to track my stitches and track my projects and everything, and I fell off pretty quickly. I think after 3 months, 4 months, something along those lines. And I don't want to get back into it mid-year. It just feels weird to me. So I will do that again next year, possibly. See if it works. At least I kept it up for 4 months, which is longer than I managed to do before. Anyway, I feel like I've rambled on long enough. I will show you what I stitched on in these past days. And then I will show you my new starts, because there will always be new starts. Let's be real. It doesn't matter how much I'm oh, I want to just work on my projects that I have and not start anything before I finish something. No, there will be new starts. I have a little bit of haul. Also, if I look to the side, I have a tiny list, so smidgy of notes, and a little bit about plans. So let's get into projects I worked on first, and I have them on the side here, so I will just grab them. This one, let me get it out if it's... I really want to get this finished. This has been in my whips for a long time, and it is tiny. It says 10,000 stitches. It's like a mini full coverage. It's on 28 count. This is a pattern I made. This is a pixel artwork I made of one of my original Dungeons and Dragons characters. I had the intention of making this like a 1 strand a day situation. Did I manage to do that? No. I managed for 2 days. So plans are not the thing for me either. I stitch what I want, when I feel like it. But I will try again for next week to make this a 1 strand a day. Because I really do want this finished. And on my wall. See, it's tiny. And it's almost done. It just has like, most of this is background, like single color background. All of the space between his ear and the hair over here, all of this is one color. This whole part here, and then there's like a little bit of hair and a lot of black the other side of this cloak on the side. So most, like all of the parts that have a lot of confetti, apart from like a little bit of hair here, is done. So the rest should go fairly quickly. I have no excuse for this not being done. I think I started 2 years ago. Yeah, it's sometime in 2023. So that is the first one. Another one that really should be done by now, not because it's been languishing, but because I originally wanted it finished by the end of the month, as this is gonna be my August? Yeah, next month is August, right? Already. Oh my god, the year's almost over. This is gonna be my August Patreon chart. So this, and I do technically prefer to have a model stitched for my Patreon patterns, but this one, unfortunately, there's no way I'm gonna finish it by the end of the month unless I stitch all day, every day, and only stitch on this particular pattern. So there will only be a mock-up for this for the first time, but that's fine. This is only 3 colors. That is what it looks like. And you can probably already make out what it's gonna be. This is a sampler. All of the little boats are finished. I mean, there's a little bit of white left in the final 2. Then there will be like these cute little, what's the English word? Jellyfish. And the clamshells are missing the filling. Then this is just gonna be like a what are the things called that you have on ships, like the thick strands of, oh my god, I can't do English today. I'm sorry again for the new, for anyone new. English is not my first language. I'm German, so please excuse. And then there will be more little jellyfish down here, and of course the down here is where the pattern ends. There will be a frame going around. This part will be on the other side, and as you can see, I think this is halfway done, a little over halfway done, but I don't think I will be able to finish it by the end of August, by the beginning of August. I will also try to make this at least 1 strand a day, so you get a little bit of update on it. And for anyone who likes this, I hope you all like this. It's super cute, isn't it? It's and very summery, and I have been on holiday at the beach, and I worked on it a little bit, sitting on the beach. It was very thematic. This will be available on my Patreon at the beginning of August. So anybody that wants this, the link is in the description. I would love some support. Thank you very much. But eventually this will also be in my Etsy shop. If you want to wait for that for next summer, you can of course also do that. And I would love you very much for that as well. So that is the Seaside sampler. And let's put this away. Hopefully gonna be 1 strand a day from like for next week, Monday to next Sunday. And you will, if I keep this up, no promises, see next Sunday if I actually did it. So now for other projects I worked on. that are not my own chart patterns. We do have, and this is one of my favorites, and I think one of my full coverage projects that is the farthest. I will show you what it looks like finished. I didn't do much on this this week. Let me fold it so I can show you what I did. And this is the entire width of the project. I'm not gonna open it, but I did a lot going down here last year. So you can see that in my whip parade. But what I worked on is I started like the second tower. This is, I think, I'm doing this royal rose, and I think they call these towers, like doing the 2 10x10 blocks down and then in a row, like I did with the top row up here. So I did this entire part here. Let me see if I can get this closer. I thought I could like maybe finish this one to like 10x20 basically, but I didn't. I worked on it for one evening. It was a short stitchy session. Also, this is I think it's about 12-15% ish done, maybe 20. No, not that much, probably more like 15-16% with everything that I did down here, if at all. 12 is probably more of a good estimate. I'm gonna show you what it's gonna look like finished, and I'm not opening it because there's like so many hanging threads, and I would have to reorder them. Let's see. I went a little crazy going down with this one. I do have a picture of it. It's very tiny. I don't know why it printed that way. This is by HeavenAndEarthDesigns. The artist is Walking Melons. I think this is the only artwork they have of them. And this is the mini full dragon. That's what it looks like. I can't really see it because for some reason, I don't know why it's this tiny on the front page of the chart. Well, it is. That's what it's gonna look like. And this has also been like in my whips for a long time. I think it's also like one of my 2022 or 2023 starts. No excuse for it not to have more done on it. Another one I worked on. Let's get the big ones out of the way first. It's another Heaven and Earth chart that I have not touched at all last year, I believe. Despite it being like one of my absolute favorites. It's this one. And I'm not gonna try to pronounce it because I will butcher it. So you can just read it off the chart, the picture. I had thought about restarting this. Because I have been restarting a few of my full coverages, or discontinued a few of my full coverages some with the intent to completely discontinue them, some with the intent to restart them, because I was no longer liking the way they looked on the, like with the combination of using the 28 count and the stitching it 2/1 10 stitch. And but I didn't immediately just like throw all of them out. I put them to the side, so like sleep on it, think about it, maybe put a few more stitches in, see if you really do not like them anymore. This one I was thinking about just, if I were to restart it, just cut off like the whole, like this background here. I think that is a total of 6 pages. That is just clouds and sky. I didn't though. I will continue this as is. I figured out that it's not my regular 28 count with a 10 stitch that I dislike, and I like right now at this point. The reason why I dislike it is because it gets so bulky in the back and to the point that it warps the fabric, and it's you can hardly get the needle through and it's not enjoyable to stitch on it. The point that I figured out later though, it's not the 28 count that I have issues with, that I get from China and all that. It is a different fabric that I started some of my full coverages on, which might not even be 28 count. It might be 20, is it 25 or 26? I'm not sure. The fabric that I got from my friend Dobby quite a while ago, that she passed on because she also couldn't make do with it for some reason, and I think maybe I can't either. And I think it's because it's so soft that it's easy to warp when it gets too bulky. The one I'm using for this, and I'm going to show you, does not, because this fabric it's not stiff by any means. It is also very soft, but it's thick. Like, this fabric has a lot of stability, so it can deal with thicker like backs and everything. If there's too much strands in it, that bulks it up in the back. That other fabric didn't though. It immediately started warping, and I don't know. I was just like, I don't like it. And at this point, I'm tending to be more into the how do I put this? I used to absolutely dislike if you could see like a little bit of fabric showing through, because your coverage wasn't thick enough or dense enough. So I'd rather have like thick, bulky stitches on my fabric. But at this point in my stitchy journey, I've totally switched to the opposite. Not with full coverages necessarily, but with my smaller project, I'd rather stitch them 1/1 with one strand, and have like a little bit of fabric showing through, than having like these bulky stitches that can look a little messy. But anyway, ramblings aside, let's get to the actual. And yeah, I didn't mention it with the previous project, but I will put before pictures. I hope I find them, because I know I took them from my whip parade, so you can see what I actually did. So this is where this is at. This got a little bit more stitching done. And as you can see, like, this is an entire page and a second page. And all of this is background. The background goes all the way and even further. So I worked on this first page with the intent to first finish one page, even if it's all blue. There's like, this is all one color. There's like one other color sprinkled in here. You can see it, that I have not stitched yet, because I don't have the color. I am rekitting all of my projects. I have walked away from using a master set because of dialogues and all that shenanigans with as many projects as I have, and I've started to just kit them all back up, and I'm missing that other blue. I've ordered it. It will go in there as soon as as it arrives. And yeah, and a little bit of this cloud here. But that is what I did on this one. Let's put it back in its back where everything folds down. And another thing I want to get back to is sewing project bags, because 99% of my projects are still in these, which I like. They are nice, especially the large ones, but most of them that I have are small, or smaller, and it is a bit hard to fit all of the stuff in, especially for bigger projects. Let's take a sip of coffee before it gets cold. Just hiding behind, because I know some people don't like you watch drinking or eating on camera. So to those of you, you're welcome. This one you haven't seen before, because this is a new start from earlier this year. This is a smaller full coverage that I picked up on Etsy. The name of the shop is not on here, and I don't think I wrote it down. So let's see if it's on the... No, it's not on this one either. I will see if I can find it, and then I will just put a name somewhere here. This is how far I am with that one. I'm just gonna show you the full thing. I think I worked a little... I did this part here and started on the dragon over here. This is a crunchy Ada that I may or may not have wanted to wash before starting it, and I might still do that to uncrunch it, because as I figured out fairly early in my stitching journey, pre-washing your Ada is wonderful. It makes it a lot easier to work with, a lot more pleasant. But yeah, this is where this one's at, and I love the colors. Again, for anyone that hasn't watched me before, a lot of my projects I gravitate to greens and purples. You can see that's kind of my color scheme. Greens, purples, and dragons. I love dragons. I will stitch almost anything that has dragons on it. So if you ever want to do me like a favor, send me something for my birthday or whatever, if it has dragons on it and I don't have it yet, I will love you. Next one. This one was one that I thought about discontinuing, and then I picked it up and worked on it a little bit, and I'm like, no, I will finish this. I still love it. And this is one of the incidents where I don't necessarily love the coverage anymore, because it feels a little dense, and you can see that it is warping the fabric. This is like one that, if I were to start it now, I would stitch it 1/1, not 2/1. And this is full cross, because the pattern calls for like part of it to be stitched full cross and part of it to be stitched in intent, like in just half crosses. And where the full crosses are, it's getting a little what. So, but I still like it. I still want to finish it. I have only worked in the sky. I have finished the dark blue color, and the lighter blue color I think is also done. And I have decided, since this is, one, because of the slight warping, and two, because this fabric is not white, it's slightly yellow. And by how the pattern is, like all of these parts here between the clouds and the fields here is not stitched. That is just the fabric. Same with the whites in the cloud. But I decided to stitch the white, as you can see here. And I'm just stitching the white in like half cross, just 10 stitching the white. You can't really see much of a difference from afar, I think, but there is definitely a difference between like the stitched part. I think it looks a lot better to stitch it than to just leave it empty, even if it's just 10 stitch. But yeah, this will be the full size of this piece. Let me show you what it looks like when it's finished. That's what it will look like. It's by Maria Diaz. It's from a magazine, Cross Stitcher magazine, July 2020. And I do not know what count as fabric is. I would assume 18 or 20 at most. Probably more like 18. And yeah, I think I also started this in 2023. I think I did Mania in 2023, and this is one of them. But this will be continued. I still like it a lot. So that's that one. Close the back. We have... Do we have more? Okay, no, we don't. That is the whips that I worked on. Now I have 2 new starts. I have a lot more new starts, let's be real, but the 2 new starts that I did this week, and including like the 2 days, so in this video's time frame. First of which was one that I had on my eBay favorites list for a while. It's this one. I know it's probably AI. I still think it's super cute, so I made an exception and I got it. So this is Enchanted Forest Baby Dragon, that's what it's called. And the Etsy shop is Graphitek. I think it's basically just Graphitek. If you put that in the search bar, you can find it. And this is not large. It is 244 by 244, so what is that, a medium-sized full coverage? But it's round, so that makes it a little less stitches. And here you can see, this is how far I got with the start. And yeah, there's my hanging threads here, my packed threads. And this is like one of these instances where I would have probably done this if I'd started it last year or the year before that in intent 2/1. But this is, as you can see, this is 1/1 full cross. And I would say, yeah, this is also either an 18 or 20 count. And this is how I'm starting most of my projects right now. I'm even doing like a few full, like larger full coverages, 1/1. But with these type, that is how I prefer working. And like now, I wouldn't have, because if you get close enough, you can see that this is not entirely covering the fabric. There is some white shining through. And when I started cross-stitching, I did not like it. If I saw like something like this, I would be like, no, this can't look like that. It needs to be more dense. But then again, if I hold it here, you can't see it. And I have since learned to just look at my projects from a distance. Because some people told me, and I think they're absolutely right, if someone puts their nose so close to your cross stitch to see if it's perfect, then they have another problem. And I think that's beautiful. Next one, and this is a recent new start, and I think I started in the beginning of the week, like Tuesday or Wednesday, and I haven't been able to put it down. I've been working on only this one ever since I started it, and I have no intention of stopping. So maybe next week you will only see this one. Who knows? And that is called Dragonfly and Blossom. It's by an Etsy shop called Green Terrace. It's from Serbia. They are from Serbia. The shop is. And this is a series. They do have a total of 5. There is a butterfly, which I'm definitely gonna get as well. There's a ladybug, a bee, and a green beetle. And these are beautiful, and they are so easy, and they stitch up so fast. So let me show you where I'm at. I did choose like these opalescent white for it that I had in the correct size. This is where I'm at. You see how pretty this looks. It doesn't have many colors. There's 2 blends in it. One blend that I've found, which is in the flower somewhere between the white and the blue. This is what this one looks like so far. I've made my way down to the dragonfly. The flower is finished. There's one color missing in here, in the bud, but otherwise the flower is finished. That's what it looks like, and I love it. It's beautiful. Can recommend. And I will probably get at least, well, I think I just said I'm definitely gonna get the butterfly, and I might get the others as well, because those are, I love them. They are great. That is all for stitching. So if that's all you wanted to see, thank you. I do have some haul to show, and then maybe like a 1 or 2 live update things if you're interested in that. Now let me see where I put my haul, quote unquote. So I did get some more patterns though that I have not started with these other 2. And again, this is only the ones that I got this week. I need to be stopped. I got this one, which is, it's so cute, isn't it? It's also from Etsy. The shop is named NeniDesignCrafts, and I think I got it on sale for 2 or 3 euros, which is ridiculous. I mean, not that I sell my patterns for much more than that in my Etsy shop. I will keep this one mostly as is when I start it. I will probably change the red to a purple, like a lavender purple or like a pinkish purple, to make them look more like cherry blossoms. But other than that, I will just stitch it as it is. Again, dragons. Do you see the theme? That is 1. And speaking of dragons, I couldn't help myself and I did join HeavenAndEarthDesigns Patreon. And I will see if I stick with it because I definitely need to watch my budget. But I had to for this month. I had to get this one. It's the Bone Garden. That is July's Patreon pattern on that Patreon. And it's so cute. And I would have started it already, but I do not have... I haven't decided on a fabric for it yet. Because I don't have much fancy fabric. I am getting a little bit more into dyeing fabric myself. I have been doing so for quite a while, as my returning friends know. But like this fabric, that is way beyond my skill set. So I am still thinking about what type of fabric I'm gonna make for this. Maybe a darker green, or maybe like a green beige type of situation, like to give it like a more sandy background. Well, then again, I'd be worried that the skulls disappear too much. But I will figure something out for sure. And then I will start this. And the third pattern, which is not necessarily a haul, I got this in a trade. I found Pocket Mama's shop on YouTube while watching Flosstubes, and I fell in love with the flower shop. And she did mention in one of her first Flosstubes, I think she only has 3 videos on yet at the moment. She's still a very new Flosstuber. That you should definitely check out. She's amazing. And she mentioned that she had done a pattern swap at one point in time. So I did comment on her Flosstube and said if she ever felt like doing a pattern swap again, I would totally be up for it. I love this. And you can get this in her Etsy shop. It's so cute. I will definitely need to start this very soon. I do sort of have it on my plans for next week, so we'll see if that happens. And this looks like something that wouldn't take overly long to stitch. It's fairly small, as you can see by the stitch count. And we did trade a pattern. This is what I got. And I'm looking forward to stitching this very much. So hopefully next week. Apart from that, I did get more fabric. And I'm not just gonna show you like the regular white that I got for some full coverage and everything. I have been, how do I say this? Showing restraint buying fabrics, but since I opened my Patreon and I'm doing at least one chart a month that I'm trying to model stitch and everything, I do need fabrics, and I need fabrics of different colors. I do not want to stitch everything on white, yada yada. You know the deal. So I got back to my eBay scavenging And I think I mentioned it in one of my earlier Flosstubes that there's this eBay shop here in Germany who sells like leftover fabric parts, like scraps and everything. And she puts them up for auction starting for €1, and I have been going wild in her shop for like quite a while now. So this is my latest haul from her. I got this. I think that's probably dyed. I don't know if it's hand dyed or machine dyed or anything. It has a very subtle modeling, very subtle. And this would have been beautiful for the Sea Life sampler if I had it when I started that. Then there was another opalescent in there, and I get like 4 or 5 of these pieces in like one pack for between €2 and €5, and this is how large they are. And that's scraps. And I'm like, how is this scraps? I can put like I can even put larger projects on these. I mean, there are a few scraps in there, and then there was this. This is a dark teal. This is also a big piece. And then there's the scraps. Like this is more like a scrap, right? That was in there. And all of these are Aida. And while I do like linen, I figured I'm more into Aida. And there's a smaller white. And this is lint. And yeah, it's not dirty. It's just fossils, as we say. Lint. And then this is also a smaller piece. And all of this came together in one pack that I paid, I think, €5 for. Which, how could I not? Let's be honest. And then I got a second one. Was this all in one? No, I think one or two of these were in the other. I got 2 packs in total. There's a green one, which is also like a larger piece. I got this for the purple. Of course I got it for the purple. There was a green and a yellow in with the purple as well. I got it mainly for the purple. It's a big piece. This is probably 14 count. I mean, most of these are 14 or 16 count, which I don't mind. I do like to do my model stitches on 14 count because I know they are small projects and a lot of people stitch on 14 count. And yellow. I will find a use for all of these eventually. And then I got 2 larger pieces. And by larger, I mean large. And these at least they were set up as hardanger, so I would assume this is hardanger. And this is printed, I believe, because the other side is just a plain color. And I have restarted one of my larger stitch-alongs, like or I will restart one of the larger stitch-alongs that I did oh my god, words are escaping me. I will cut this out. The Treasure Island cell by Alfar's Embroidery. I did this on like a similarly colored fabric, but again, fabric, stitch density, stitch count, I did not appreciate. And I will restart this on this fabric 1/1. I do not know the count. It looks like a 22-ish situation to me. But this is big. There's gonna be more than just that project on there. Look at this. I don't even know how big this is, and this is still folded. This is half of the length. And then it's folded in how many parts? This is the entire length. Oh yeah, there it is. It's 29 by 133 meters. So that is, I don't even know what I paid for it. Under $10. I love eBay. And same with this one. This is another massive piece. I don't know yet what I'm gonna do with this, because this is just like a plain orange. The count is slightly smaller. I will probably find a use for it eventually. Like doing like an maybe when I'm starting to do my autumn, starting to design my autumn patterns, which I will probably be in August, because starting September, October, November, I think my Patreon wants to see August autumn patterns. So this will definitely see 1 or 2 of them, I'm sure. But that is my haul. So that is everything stitchy. And I said like this is gonna be a shorter video, but it is not. We're at 50 minutes. We are at 40 minutes. And yeah, I appreciate everybody that has been hanging out with me for these past 40 minutes. This is all the stitching. I will, for anybody that's interested, see if I can, and if I can't, I will just cut this part out. Put in like a few pictures from vacation. We were at the German North Sea coast. We were at a city that has a beautiful beach, and then we took a ferry on Saturday to go to Helgoland, which is Germany's one and only offshore, like not offshore, like high seas island. I don't know what you translate it as. Like, we do have a few islands off the coast that are very close to the coast, like close enough that you can see it. I think there's one that even has a train connection. Wait, no, it doesn't. There was a train connection to the coast and then you took a ferry, but it's very close. They are all like maximum like a few minutes away from the coast by ferry. And this one is like, if you take a regular ferry, it takes you 2.5 hours to get there. We took an express ferry, which is, I don't know if the English word is the same. It's a catamaran. It's like a jet boat, basically, jet ferry. I do have a few video clips of it, like, and I will try to insert them for anybody who's interested to see like some of our vacation pictures. We don't usually go on vacation. Like, this is my first vacation in 20-something years. The last one I was on was when I was 19. I am 41. But we were like, it's about time. We need a few days off. I know it costs a lot of money for our, how do you say, like, for our standards, it was expensive. We saved for it for quite a while, and we were like, let's just do a vacation for once. And yeah, that is what we did. As for other life updates and why I have been gone for so long, some of you, again, those of you that have been around, I think I mentioned it at the end of last year. I started having some dental issues, and those like took a while to resolve. I got all of it resolved, hopefully, for now at least, mid-June. It's not been long ago. So I had to have a tooth removed. You can't see it. It's a molar somewhere all the way in the back. And while I was waiting for like specialist appointments that had to be like pushed back, and then I had to see another specialist because I was not happy with how the one that I originally wanted to go to was handling things, so it got pushed back again. And around Easter I got issues with a different tooth, and I had to have like a root canal, and it was just like a huge mess. We had some family things happening in February shortly after I filmed my last video. As you know, my birthday is also in February, so we had like my birthday and my friend's birthday, and then we had my grandma's birthday, who has like whose birthday was like a week before mine. And then like 2 or 3 weeks after her birthday, she started getting sick, and a month later she passed away. So that happened. And then there was, of course, work. Year's most important convention is in the beginning of July, so I was crazy busy preparing for that and then doing that, and then I needed time off after that, because there's nothing more exhausting than a 3-day event of that proportion. It was amazing, it was great, it went better than last year, which is wonderful. Still nowhere at a level that it needs to be if I want to keep doing it for the foreseeable future, but better than last year is better than last year. I will take that, and I hope I can scale that further. There will be another larger convention happening in 2 weeks, so I'm still scrambling to prepare for that as well. It is not that big, it is still important, but it's not like the main event of the year situation, and I still have a lot done from that other convention. I just had to reorder things and so I wasn't really doing much new stuff for it. Maybe I should have, but I didn't have the capacity. I needed a break, so that happened. And I had been thinking about getting back into filming, both for like my Flosstube and my art business, but I just didn't have the time or the mental capacity. And it was a crazy time. I can't believe we are already almost in August. This half year just flew by so quickly. And where did the time go, really? I have gone back to watching Flosstubes as well, and I still don't know if I will ever be able to do like shout outs of channels that I've been watching, other than if I directly interacted with someone. But I mean, I would love to, and I would love to connect more with everybody else in the community. I am a little bit of a recluse. I don't really talk much to people, in part because I'm not a big commenter when I watch videos, mostly because I watch them while I stitch or work or whatever. And I'm not really very active on Instagram. I try to post regularly, but I've never gotten into the chatting on Instagram type of situation, because I do not really like chatting on my phone, and Instagram is mainly a phone app. I think you can reply to messages on your computer, but it's a little bit obscure. I am always on Discord though, so I have been thinking about making my own Discord server for a while now, and maybe I should do that. Also because I do have a Patreon now. I've had it since January. Just to connect it with both like me as a person who would love to chat more with other stitchers, just in a like, you know, in a friendly and non-business type of situation. Just see what everybody else is doing and connect a little bit more and get more friends that are also loving the hobby, which I have like 1 or 2 that I don't even talk to that much at the moment, which I'm a little sad about. But you know, we're all busy adults. It's reasonable, isn't it? And yeah, also maybe connected with like the business aspect of my stitching, like to give people a better option to be in the loop of what I'm doing, and if there's anything they really want, and also to like throw in suggestions of what they want to see me make next. I'm still getting into it. I haven't been doing it for a long time, but it's something that I really want to delve more into, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's about it. I will hopefully be back next week. Maybe as rambly, maybe less rambly. We will see. I always say I want to make shorter videos, and they still end up to be now we are at 50 minutes. Thank you for being here, especially if you like stuck around for this long. I really appreciate it. do leave me a comment if there's like anything you want to know, anything you want to comment on, really. I read all the comments. I try to answer to all the comments in a timely manner. I really appreciate and love everybody that leaves a comment, hits the like button. Maybe if you've not been here before, maybe subscribe to see more of what I work on. And yeah, I hope I will see you next time, and I hope it will be next week. We will see. Until then, happy stitching, friends.